Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am Flash. Thank you for joining me for another Marvel Snap video. And as usual this week, we have another stream team video showcasing the Snap Judgment 3 decks from the Snap Judgment video, I guess yesterday? By the time you see this video, would have been yesterday, yes. And the 3 decks are the Batman 99 Loki deck, the Evazord junk deck, if you will. I guess it's just a bunch of good cards, right? Not necessarily a junk deck specifically. And the Dera Sage bounce deck. And as always, if you could like and subscribe these videos, share them out. We're closing in on a true 500 subscribers. Like, we thought we passed it, and then it dropped back. We don't want to talk about it. Things happen, but it's okay. It's fine. But like I said, do that stuff. Goes a long way. It really helps things out. I very much appreciate it. We had a season pass giveaway during the stream. Gemma Mesh won, and shout out to y'all for participating in that, right? And just having a good time. And shout out to the homie Glazer for doing that season pass giveaway, and it was good times, right? But all that being said, enough about all of that. Let's get into the decks. So the first deck that we have here is the Batman 99 Loki deck. Now these players, the Loki deck and the Evazord, those two players were battling it out for kind of #1. So these are the decks that they were playing with, which is why they always get titled as like the #1 deck, because they're getting played by the top players on the Infinite leaderboard. And Dera is just persistently a top player, a top 10 Marvel Snap player. So whatever he does, and he does it well, take notice. But here's the Loki deck. It's pretty much a standard style Loki deck, right? It's got Kitty. Now this is the Kitty Elsa version. It leverages that early game with Angela into Kitty. You got Quinjet still. Snowguard fits in there well. Jeff, because Jeff is just good in everything. Obviously Elsa's here. Now as far as tech goes, you have that Red Guardian kind of Shang-Chi Nocturne package, and yes, I'm throwing in Nocturne into like a tech style card because she does that. She's a tech / utility card because she's doing both the things that Scarlet Witch and Nightcrawler are doing. Scarlet Witch tech, Nightcrawler utility. She's a mesh of those two things, so she can bail you out of a lot of bad locations that your opponent is taking advantage of, that they get to scam and you can't. She can change a limbo that your opponent might be wanting to take advantage of, especially if they're the ones that played Magic, and it wasn't just a location that popped up randomly, you know. But this is one of those decks where you have to be aware of what you're playing early. Meaning, is it a game where you're leveraging the cards off of Coulson and the cards off of Valentina and just playing your tech stuff? Or is it a Loki game? Are the cards just not falling the way you need to, and locations aren't good for you, and you can really, and you have Quinjet down, and you can really take advantage of what your opponent is playing just better because you have Loki and Quinjet? Then it's a Loki game. But you got to identify that pretty quickly and pick a direction of what you want to do and do it quickly. But that's how that operates. Let's get to the next deck. Now this is the Evazord junk deck, or just good cards. This is probably my favorite deck of the 3, just because I'm not much of a bounce player, and that's, you know, big surprise there, right? Bounce and move. And now 2 weeks in a row we've been playing bounce and move. But Loki is Loki. But this is just fun. Now this is more of a read and react deck, right? And it's looking to do counter stuff, right? So you're paying attention to what your opponent is doing, what they're playing. You're like, okay, can I use you as agent this game? Is that a good play? Are they trying to scam me ongoing stuff? I have Super Scroll, right? Are they Jeff is just always going to be a good card, but Invisible Woman is good here for Killmonger. Just be very careful with this, because you never know if your opponent is running like a Goliath, right? Some decks you can kind of tell that they might have it, but you have to pay attention to that. Okay, now if they're playing that Patriot stuff, just call it Patriot stuff, because it goes in a couple different directions. But if they're leaning the Patriot Ultron stuff, perfect. Put that Invisible Woman down, put Killmonger down, bam, you're good to go. Luke is going to help with US Agent. Nocturne, because again, Nocturne's just a solid card in this game doing a utility / tech thing. And you just got big cards here. You got Shang here to help out with the other stuff. Cannibal is a damn good tech card, top 5 tech card in Marvel Snap. Doc Ock helps with a lot of let me pull all your things into the lane, and whatever's left, I can either cannonball it out, win that lane easy, Shang it out, win that lane easy, or it might just be enough where Doc Ock can solo the lane, and maybe it's not solo, maybe you've played something else there and Doc Ock's just that extra 10 power, and then your opponent can't go over the top of that. They can't play into that lane anymore, you just won. And Red Hulk is just big cards. Like this is a more of a good card style deck, and Evazord, if everyone knows Evazord, he just loves Doc Ock, so it's good. Let's get to the next one. And the last deck of the group, the Dera Sage bounce list. This is a pretty standard bounce type list. It has Sage and it has Havoc, and you can do a multitude of things. Now, if you're not a savvy bounce player, such as myself, you have to practice this. It's gonna take some time to figure out what you want to be doing now. There's nothing over 3 cost here, right? So it goes low to the ground and it goes fast, it goes tall if you're managing this well. You're looking to do the early stuff. Now, you'll have a lot of games where you might be able to play Bast on turn 1, depending on what the rest of your hand looks like. You almost can, if you have Bast in hand turn 1, you almost always play that first, because there are no bad hits for Bast on turn 1. Even if she hits Hope, that still only drops a point of power off of Hope, and that's really not a big deal. She has a positive impact on every other card in the deck. So yeah, if you have Bast turn 1, play Bast over everything else. Then you start to look at, okay, is it Kitty next? Angela Kitty, or am I playing Hood? Then you start to snowball that a little bit. Another fun thing you can do here is that you can play Havoc down on turn 5, and then you can still do Mysterio Hitmonkey on the last turn if you need to, kind of a late bailout. Sage can be played after you've identified what's happening on the board. Where's your opponent playing their cards? What kind of power they have? Okay, let me put Sage here. You could play it early and bounce it back with Beast. You have options, but again, it just requires some savvy, some practice, and we'll see how it goes when we go through a couple of games with this deck, and maybe I can help. Again, the people like myself who don't play a lot of bounce, we'll be kind of doing this together, right? All right, let's get into some games with these decks. Let's do it. All right, so first game here, we're going to kick off. The first couple of games, we're going to kick off with the Loki deck. Now, okay, so we're looking at more than likely Quinjet turn 1 here. Could be Snow Guard turn 1. We could hold the Quinjet, but I like this. Now, we don't need to really overdo playing a lot of games here with this deck. You've, at some point, maybe played this deck. You've seen it played. It's been played against you. You know what this deck does. It doesn't have anything like that's starkly different than what you've seen out of this deck before. We love Red Guardian here because it shuts off stuff like this that we would otherwise want to take advantage of. So let's just shut that off now. We don't need to. We could have maybe waited for something else to shut off that was better, but why not? Let's give us some more room to work here. Okay, Gladiator. You know, the irony is that if they had Gladiator or Shang, that would have been bad for them. And there is a 317 Infinite. My word. I'm good with... I think we're good with just a full float here, honestly. Yes, the case could be made where we won't get to play any cards, but... or we won't get to draw any cards, but a 317 Infinite is just cracked, right? That's absolute cracked. So let's do that, because we can do that and we can Snow Guard, we can Jeff, we can do multiple things here. Or, you know, one of the Bear or the Hawk. I'm good with I'm arguably good with Jeff. Jeff, I think, is fine. Now, if they don't have Shang, yeah, that's not as great for us. But we're not putting a big thing in that left lane there. So we're good for the time being. We can still do Elsa plus one thing, so that's fine. Let's get Jeff out of there, in case that's Shang there. Which it very well might be. It very well might be. And the biggest thing we could be doing here is Nocturne. Okay, it's nothing. There's Mojo. Okay, we got a chance here still. I don't know, that kind of hurts the chance. That Omega Red really hurts us. Yeah, I don't think that's enough now. It could have been enough. It could have been enough. There was a chance it was enough. Just didn't get us all the way there. But like I said, it's Loki. It's Loki. It is what it is. You know what this deck does. Let's play one more. Right, so here's second game here with this Loki deck. Again, a lot of times I'm just good with the Quinjet on turn 1. And as are they. Get to Loki mirror this up. Let's get Angela out now. Gee, I wonder if they're gonna do Angela. Oh, look, they did Mirage, which means they get either my Red Guardian or my Coulson. I'm not sure what I'm hoping for more. I'm almost hoping for Coulson more, because Red Guardian is very good here, and that's do a lot of damage. Like I'm about to do to their Quinjet. In theory, what I'm about to do to their Quinjet. Okay. Hope for them. Red Guardian for me. Shut that Quinjet off. Okay, what's... Fury. Of course. I get Moon Girl. I don't need Moon Girl, bro. I mean, I don't hate it, because... Let's go ahead and snap, because we're going to get to Loki here. So let's do this plus the Loki. Yeah, there's just a lot of stuff happening here, so that's the play. Again, sometimes you, like I said before, you have to quickly identify if it's what kind of game you're playing. You're playing a Loki game, or you're playing, so here we get to 7 card Monty Loki, so this is good. Plus we have the Quinjet down, so we're in a real good spot. We're currently sitting much better positioning wise than our opponent is. Hell, we could Loki again if we really wanted to. But I don't think we need to do that. It's not like absolutely necessary. Let's leverage this. Take advantage of Hope. We get to do this. We get to do a lot of things here. Yeah, I think that's it. Again, we have the advantage right now. Now, usually I wouldn't have snapped in these scenarios, but for the sake of we're still doing stuff here, let's go for it. Oh, wow. They cannonballed with Snow Guard. Interesting play on their part. Now, of course, if they hit the Shang, I have to be very careful about what to do with Angela here, right? I can't let Angela get any bigger. So now I have to pivot, because they're looking at me and saying, okay, yeah, you can let that Angela get a little bit bigger and we can go ahead and hit that with Shang. So I don't want that to happen. Problem is I don't have a lot of options. All right, like I didn't hit their cannonball, which would have been very good for us. And this is singularly not enough power, but they retreated. So there it is. Again, we don't have to do much more here. This is a Loki deck. You know what it does. Sometimes you just have to know when you're playing the Loki and when you're not playing Loki. Bottom line. Let's get to the next deck. All right, so here we're moving on to the Evazord junk list. So it's more of a good cards list. It's not a junk list per se, but again, junk as in just a bunch of cards thrown together, presented as a good cards list. let's just play the Invisible Woman, because sometimes that can... Sometimes just the Invisible Woman alone is enough of a deterrent to confuse your opponent. So it is what it is. Sometimes it's enough just to play Doc Ock under there sometimes. Because even if they play the Goliath, okay, still 10 power. I'm gonna go Nocturne. Nothing wrong with a 3/5. Into... Let's put the Killmonger down. Then we can go... I'm interested in going Doc Ock here. For sure. Let's see how much we can pull 4 cards out of their hand. So that's very good. And if we hit... Okay, there's Stature, Shang... Naturally not a good hit. Helicarrier. Proxima. Lord. Okay, well that's good for them. Unfortunate, very unfortunate for us that the Swarm wasn't the one card pulled, like, and there's these Hogaking Gambits. Sniping off the Nocturne. This did not go well at all in any way, shape, or form. This only hits the 1 card. It still leaves 17 power in that lane. Unfortunately, it's just a full-on retreat. Know when to hold them, know when to fold them. Go and get out of there. This is a 100% a loss. The Doc Ock play was not good, but honestly, on a whole scale, there wasn't much. They were going to be able to do a lot versus what we were going to be able to do. So sometimes it's just how it works out. Let's get to another game. Okay, and as I said before, this deck is like my favorite of the 3. Just kind of fits more so how I play the game, which is it's much more control-y in a way, right? It's not direct control, but it's like I said, it's very read and react, and I can dig that. Now I don't need to change Hellfire Club because we're not playing any 1s in this deck. So let's just play Nocturnal's 3/7. And we can shut off magic. We can shut off that limbo if we need to. We could play our own magic, but I'd rather not. So let's just play Luke and try to fight for, not that having priority here is a necessity, but okay, Mr. Negative, right? So they need more turns to really leverage that Mr. Negative. I'm not gonna give it to him. And in fact, I'm gonna play Doc Ock. I know, tread lightly with the Doc Ock. I get it, but this could be a great hit. Could have, I mean, we'll see. Could be a great hit. Okay, that's good so far. That's not great. Mind you, he was trying to scam a 0/5 Iron Man. They were really gonna hold on to that. I caged the Rogue, the Luke. That's fine. How much? How come US Agent doesn't have the like the card shine? That's fine, because we can go. Losing the Luke hurts a lot. I think we can. Honestly, now they probably have like Ironheart or something too, but they probably got Null Zola, maybe, or not, because this is the Surfer style. We can Super Scroll the Iron Man, which is good. I kind of want to do it here. And then US Agent, maybe? Just to see what we're working with. Like, what the point total change is. And because they took our Luke, actually, we get the benefit back from the Super Scroll. So this is why this list is good, because you get to over scam with the Super Scroll. Now, that's interesting. Oh, because they have Luke. Right. Okay. Now, that's fine, because we're just gonna cannonball and we should just win off of that. They can't get any more power here unless Ironheart. I don't know why they're thumbs upping. I think maybe they know they've lost, or no, I can say that for sure. But and the big card that this hits is Iron Man, so I think we just win. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, I thought it might be Ironheart, but yeah, my friend, you just lose, I think. No, wait, what happened in the left lane? I shut off the Iron Man. I shut off the Iron Man with Cannonball, and it killed my Super Scroll. Be careful. Be careful what you're doing with this deck. Alright, that was good times. Let's get into the next deck. Alright, so the last deck is a good deck, but it's balanced. The great Dera put this one here together, and let's see what we can pull out here. Game 1 against Captain D. He's going up against Destroy. Not sure how we fare against Destroy, but arguably not great, but we'll find out. We'll find out how things go. Maybe not Angela there. It doesn't matter. Great Web is killing us here. Killing the Smalls. The Bucky Barnes, though. Interesting. It's always an interesting, when I see that, I'm like, oh, fascinating. Actually, let's go ahead and put the bishop down now. Yeah, let's put the bishop down, see how that treats us. Now we have to be careful, because they could come back with Venom Deadpool into Venom in the middle lane, and we got to be careful because White Widow there is not great. Yeah, I think this is, for now, let's leverage doing this. Oh, magic is good for us. Naturally, I'm sure good for them too, but that gives us way more time to do the things here. And that magic is going to move to the middle lane, which not good for the opponent. Because now they're going to have to Killmonger out of that. Okay, that's fine. We don't mind. We don't mind at all. We're going to do this. White Widow into Sage? I would hit Monkey here if I knew for sure I was getting Beast off the top. But I don't know that. And that's a very risky thing to do. You know what? Let's take the chance. Let's see what happens. We're all about fun. Let's see what happens. We have a lot of things going for us, so maybe, just maybe, we might get blessed with a beast right here. Now, wouldn't that be something? Okay, it's Mysterio, so Sag. But we can leverage this. Put the Havoc, I think, in the left lane with Sage in the right lane, maybe? Is a good play? Seems like a good play. Yeah, I thought for sure we were going to be looking at Venom in that right lane. Definitely. The Skillmonger. Wow. There goes Kitty. And of course Sage jumps into the middle, which is not great. We don't love that. That's not great. Unfortunately, well, if we say we lose right, we have to assume something goes middle. My guess is null. And then, well, I don't remember how many things were destroyed in this game. But because it could be null and death. Right, because, you know, it is turn 7. But they got death down to 1, right? Which means Mysterio would have to go in the right lane, but there's almost no way they don't put, yeah, it's looking like a retreat, even though this is like a lesser than destroy deck, namely because it had Bucky Barnes in it. But again, no one to fold them. Let's get to the next one. Okay, so we got one more here with the Dera bounce deck. Yeah, like I said, Bast on turn 1 if you got it. Straight away. No bad hits on turn 1. The worst hit is Hope. But the equity you get from all the other cards mitigates it. Yeah, that's White Widow, mid. They got the armor, which is fine. That works for us. We'll take that. Sometimes it benefits your opponent just as much as it does you, so we'll take it. We have assumed Prio as well. See, Big House doesn't affect us though, right? So I'm going to challenge. That could be, you know, yeah, they got a Hope also. Like I said, I'm gonna challenge. Bishop's good. It allows us to do several things, especially with playing it on Hope. Hit Monkey Mysterio is a line that opens up for us. Where's Luke when you need him? I think I'm gonna, no pun intended, nope out of the Big House. Well, honestly, yeah, let's do Hit Monkey Mysterio. Full float by them, which means Infinite coming down. Not in the right lane though, so there's that. Damn, Cyclops, man. Okay, we don't want a beast. Beasting, we just lose everything, right? Now of course it could be Hit Monkey. It could be She-Hulk. Well, it can't be She-Hulk Infinite, right? Could be She-Hulk, No, can't be. I was gonna say it could be She-Hulk, but they didn't even play anything, so they did not get any extra energy off of Hope. Imagine if it's She-Hulk Taskmaster. That'd be wild. But good, right? Like, for sure. I think this is the play. Probably the best play we have. I think. She-Hulk. Hulk. Yeah, okay. They had I wasn't sure they had that extra power off of. Now granted, this was probably a situation where Sage left, maybe. It wouldn't have been 12, but good Sage game, right? Just a 312 is very good in a full lane. Wasn't enough for us to win the lane. Pretty close. But this is, again, one of those decks that requires you to put some time in and kind of practice the play lines a little bit. It is, like I said, pretty standard bounce list, but very good. Very good list, and by a top tier player. So if you have the resources, you have the cards, give this deck a try. Alright everybody, so those were the 3 decks. Those were the gameplay to go with the decks. And again, shout out to Glazer and Snap Judgments, and just this whole stream team thing has been fantastic. It's amazing. 3 great decks by 3 great players. If you have the resources and you have the cards, play these decks. As I just said, they're good, and you know, come back tomorrow for more decks, more gameplay. Just check out the stream team. There's gonna be another season pass giveaway, and I said tomorrow, but by the time you watch this video, it'll actually be today. So shout out to that. Shout out to Glazer. I'm Flash. Make sure you like and subscribe, share this stuff out. I will catch you guys on the next video. Peace.